top. Now, your prescription, it should already be built in here. You sent us the newest one, right? Okay, perfect. So we are going to jump right into this. I'm gonna ask you to take off your glasses. All right, and we'll put these ones on. So these are the carrier frames.
This goes.
It slides around the back, perfect. Might be a little bit tight, let me loosen it. These ones will actually be yours, so once they're set, you won't have to adjust it every time. It should be better, it's a little bit looser.
And that, this goes.
It goes on top, and I'm gonna tighten it for you, but right now, okay, so let's slide that off for a second.
Oops.
No, probably it's a little bit too tight still, and I want that to be more comfortable on you.
So make adjustments.
Just on the side, by twisting the side bands, you're able to loosen it a little bit. You shouldn't need to adjust that as much though. I'm hoping that that'll be pretty comfortable for you.
Oops.
Oh, not a problem. Let me put that back on.
All right.
There we go.
So this has to go over.
Yep.
And then this will come out.
That's on the forehead band, and I'm actually going to tighten that just a little bit for you before we actually get that going, because I want that to be comfortable. Okay.
How's that?
Okay.
The way it should be.
Yeah, I'm actually going to tighten this part a little bit more so that this is a little bit further from your eyes. Okay. So you want to have this part just a little bit above your head, and this part just a little, because we want it above your nose slightly. You don't want to put the pressure down there, because once the glasses go on, it's going to put it down. Now this should be pretty close to your natural prescription.
Yeah, I can already tell.
Perfect, excellent, I'm glad to see that. Then we have the magnets that are on the side. So there's two magnets, okay? You're gonna bring those up to the sides of the glasses. You're gonna use your thumb to find that part of the glass, yeah. Find where that is and just snap it into place there. Okay, tilt it up and down. Just to make sure it's snapped on properly. Perfect, and if you let it go, there you go. It's all in place. All right, I'm actually gonna lift your forehead strap up just a little bit. We want these sides to be lined up with your eyes. All right, so you have your natural vision underneath, right? You're still able to see in your just the regular glasses part what's going on underneath if you tilt your eyes down.
Right.
Yep, and then looking up into eSight, you're able to see the details. Okay, it's like a reverse bifocal is the phrase I usually use.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna go over how to use the controls. All right, so using that distance chart that's across the room right there. Turn a little bit to your left. Yeah, right there. Perfect. We're gonna practice using the controls to get those letters a little bit bigger.
Okay.
All right, so can I have your right hand? Perfect. So the first thing we have is our magnification. So if you turn that to the right, you're bringing everything closer.
Right.
All right, you can keep turning it if it makes it bigger, and we'll just see how far down the chart you can go.
Want me to start at the top or?
You can start at the row that you can clearly see.
Okay. Can do the NCKZO.
Excellent.
RHSDK.
Yep.
DOVHR. CZRHS.
Yep.
ONHRC.
Perfect.
DKSNV.
Yep.
ZKDNR. SRZKD.
Wow, okay.
HZOVQ.
And see how we're having like a lot of head movement right now?
Yeah, that's
okay. So that will fade naturally with time, but in the beginning, if you're finding things are too far away and it's really hard to focus on it, keep looking at the board. Just take your finger to feel this raised bump right there. Okay, if you press that down, it freezes everything for you.
right.
Okay, so it's going to get a little bit easier for your eyes to focus on what they're trying to look at.
Right. VHGM something. No.
I don't even know which line you're looking at. Oh my god, that's really small. Emily, maybe you want to show exactly which line that is? I'm going to just point to it. So if you say where you are, Ben, you were looking at that line right there, which is about 2016.
2016.
Right, so I mean, it's kind of better than 2020.
It is.
Yeah, right. So that's extremely small. Like, I actually know what you're looking at from across the room. I had to use the eSight glasses, what's what you saw on the screen. So that all comes from magnification. You already saw how to.
I'm maxed out.
Perfect. Yeah. So what you're gonna do now is reset it all. So right above the raised bump.
Am I right there?
Yeah, that's perfect. Press that down. That's your reset.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine.
Yes. So when it's lying in front of you, when it's lying straight ahead, the home button is the one that's furthest away.
Okay.
Okay. When it's sitting on that carrying path that's going to sit on your side, the unit will be tilted this way.
Right.
Right. So it'll be the furthest down. All right. It's always going to be the button furthest away from you. Still looking at that chart across the room. If you were, let's say, this is the contrast right here. Okay. I want you to turn that just a little bit to the right. Yeah, do you notice how it gets brighter?
Yeah.
Right, so like go back to the left again, go down one.
Go down.
Yep, just one.
Back towards me.
Yep. Okay, so that's the natural. Turn it again. So there we go. So we see that brightness coming in.
Yeah.
Or let's say there's a certain color, right? So sometimes the contrast you can't really adjust it, but you're like, hey, my eyes are kind of hurting. I want to take a break, but I still want to finish reading. If you press down on that, right?
Way too far.
Yeah, press it down again. Keep going. Okay, keep going. Yeah, one more. And then one more.
Okay, that's.
All right. So we have all those different color contrast modes. So depending what you're the most comfortable with, you can always adjust to it. Now the reason I bring this up is because, so my colleague, right, the way she does it is that she'll read everything in natural setting. She's pretty comfortable with it, but she finds that if she's been wearing the glasses for like hours and she's just tired, right, later at night, it's been a long day, her eyes are a little bit tired, instead of just saying, okay, I'm gonna take them off, which she'll sometimes do, what she'll actually do sometimes is put it into the black and white mode, because she finds that's relaxing for her eyes,
Right. So.
right? So it is the third one.
Okay.
One more, right? So you can play with that. Now I find that to be very daunting for my eyes.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, right? So that might not necessarily be your relaxing color.
Not.
Exactly.
I
So then
can
you
tell.
flip it again.
Yeah.
Right? And so you'll totally depend on what it is. I know even just for my own eyes, when I wake up in the morning, when I roll over and grab my phone because I want to start reading, I'll actually flip it to the reverse contrast, so white writing on a black background, because I find it's easier for my eyes to adjust to. It's one of those weird things I notice. The longer I work here, the more I'm like, huh, this is working better for me. That's interesting. And then again, if you press that reset button, I want you to find it. Yeah, right at the top. Perfect. It'll take away all the contrast as well. Okay, brings back to natural setting.
Yeah. So
It's really good.
originally, at my demo, I read 2010.
So you were probably also doing a flip chart instead of the stand chart. It's a little bit of a different chart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was doing the one where it was a bigger, smaller version of this.
Yeah.
But the letters just faded and faded and faded.
Oh, the contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah, the contrast chart is different.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. So the contrast, normally I don't do that on the second time because, I mean, the contrast in the beginning is to show you the difference that the glasses make, but you can see it right now.
Mm-hmm.
When you're walking around, always keep these tilted up,
Right.
right? Because you want to retain your depth perception so
Right.
that you're not getting dizzy.
Right.
However, when you're doing things like reading, you can actually just tilt the glasses down
Right.
so that it's right in front of your eyes. Ignore the clanking that's going on. It's an old building. Things happen. I'm actually afraid there might be like a mouse or something in there one day. Who knows? So with the contrast, you're going to turn the knob
To
the right. Keep going, keep turning it.
keep going.
Keep turning it to the right. Yep. So as you tilt your head down to see the bottom letters, this should actually be a little bit more clear for your eyes, some of the letters at the bottom.
Yeah.
And you can still make it bigger.
Yeah. So I'm saying.
So whatever your comfort level is.
V Z O
Can't see it.
D V.
Empty.
Is that it?
That's it. Honestly, I actually can't see the chart right now, just so
Yeah.
everyone on Facebook can see. It's a contrast chart, so it goes from very dark to very, very light at the bottom, and he was reading the bottom row down here. This one's kind of a marked up board, but
I saw that.
it's pretty much, yeah, it's just invisible at the bottom. That's why I couldn't really see what you were seeing. I was surprised that you were seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's there. There's letters. And then the other one, we're going to reset this. One thing I will say is that anytime you do one task, right, before you go on to the next task, reset everything.
Right.
Bring it back to home,
Right.
right? Because the worst thing is that if you're magnified into look, I'm gonna put the reading chart up,
All right.
so we'll practice that. And again, just magnifying as you get more comfortable.
All right.
Perfect, tilt it around like you'd like it.
All right. Should these carrier frames be right in the middle, or is that a problem?
No, it's fine. It's really just like, the whole point of these is being able to adjust it for your own comfort level.
Right.
Right? Because your prescription is underneath, we want to make sure that it's always in view, so you're getting the best possible view.
All right. Let's zoom up a bit.
And you can change the contrast if it makes it more defined. It's up to you.
All right.
You're pretty far from it too, so that's cool to notice to everybody who's looking. He's like a 1.5 feet away as opposed to reading it in front of him.
Right. It reads, "My father asked me to help the two men carry the box inside."
Excellent. Let's actually scroll down further to the bottom.
Where your finger is.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and like full throttle, just dive right in and see what we can read.
The young boy held his hand high to ask questions in school.
Perfect.
My brother wanted a glass of milk with his cake after lunch.
Wonderful. And this is where you might want to start freezing it if you're feeling like there's a lot of movement.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now.
Oh, hold on, unfreeze it. It's almost about finding that sweet spot about when tilt down a little bit.
Okay, because yeah, I see. Let me back up a bit here.
Yeah, you can tilt down just a little bit more. I'm actually gonna freeze it for you.
I'm maxed out. Hold on.
It's okay.
That was right here.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna freeze it for you, so I just want you to concentrate on it.
I do not understand why we must leave so early for the play.
Excellent. Now that right there is already smaller than reading a newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
The text is already smaller.
Which is?
This is about 2040 right now. And newspaper print is about 2060, 2050. You're already below that, right? Now the biggest thing you're gonna notice at first is that head movement. It's getting used to it.
Right.
Usually within about a week or so, right? That'll fade because your head will understand the weight that's on it right now.
Right.
Right now we've just put something new on it that since your demo, you haven't had the chance to wear these. So it'll take just a little bit of practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be the one responsible for the freezing right now, just because I want you to concentrate on that. So if you're just looking.
It is more than 400 miles from my home to the city.
So that is 2030. We're getting a lot smaller. That's about, I'm trying to think of what size font that would be. It's probably about a size like 9 font,
Jeez.
right? It's something like printing off a piece of paper and giving you it in really, really small writing. So like that itself, I'm just gonna turn this up.
Okay.
It's that one right there.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Can you read the bottom image that you froze?
Yeah, do that. Here, I'll tilt it down again.
All right. Our father wants us to wash the clothes before he gets back.
Excellent. That's 2025. Right? Like it's honestly only gonna get better. It's not, please don't expect it's like, oh, I can read 2010, right? Like I'm reading things that are size 4 font. I mean, it's doable. It's a lot of strain though. Don't work your eyes like that. It's just, I think it's more important to know that for things like new job opportunities, or if someone was to hand you a document that's in a standard size 12 font, that's what they're handing everybody else in the office, you'll actually be able to read that the same as everyone else. So you were at this one. Excuse my chip nails. I can try to freeze that for you.
They would love to see you during your visit here this week.
That is 2020.
And as it gets smaller, it starts to get a little...
It's a little bit blurry right now too, which is the big thing.
Yeah.
Right? But that's awesome.
Now, this is all in autofocus, right?
Yes.
Now, I didn't play around with...
Manual focus?
No.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm not gonna zoom you in the full way. I just wanna show you what manual focus does to give you a better idea. Let's tilt down just a little bit.
Is this, when it zooms, is the color green and white, is that a normal way?
Yep, they purposely do that, that jump that takes place.
Right.
It's because you can actually track the fact that you're zooming in.
Okay.
Right? If there wasn't that, those steps, as I would call them, some people have a habit of, like I'm very zoomed in right now. If you're looking at me like it's really creepy. If those steps weren't in place,
Right.
what happens is that some people just turn that dial,
Right.
and it's like whoosh, everything's really close in front of you. So by having that slow motion that takes place, that lag as you called it, it forces people to recognize that, okay, things are zooming in, things are getting closer, right? So it makes sure that no one's getting sick from it or getting nauseous because boom, everything's right in front of them.
That happened to me. It just,
Yeah.
you know, when I got home and basically passed out because I was so.
It's also pretty exhausting. That's why now that you have yours, make sure today as you're wearing them, take breaks in between.
Oh yeah.
So wear them for like 45 minutes, right? I would say, we talked about the CN Tower. So don't wear them to walk to the CN Tower because it's better to use your cane at this point, get comfortable knowing the streets and stuff like that, right? When you get to the CN Tower and you're actually looking around, that's when you put them on. Enjoy your visit there.
Right.
And then take them off again, right? Use the walking moments in between, especially in our city where there's tons to walk to. Use those moments as breaks for your eyes so that you're used to your natural state.
Yeah.
And then put them on when you want to like get that focus, that detail again.
Right.
Okay? As you build up, honestly, by like the weekend, you might see that you can wear it for like an hour and a half. By next week, you might be like, yeah, I'm at 2 hours, I'm at 3 hours at a time, right?
Yeah, because my shifts at the radio station that I work at are about 3 or 4 hour shifts.
Yeah, so you might find if you have that next week, right, wear it for half the shift and then take a break for the second half. Or the beginning break, end, right?
Yeah, I'm actually going to a concert, so.
Awesome, when are you going?
The 27th.
Oh, that's so cool.
So.
Bring it with you, like that sounds awesome. Like that should be so much fun. Yeah, just make sure that you're really giving yourself the breaks in the middle. The best, or I think it's the worst story I always share with people is one of our ambassadors actually, Tyler, told me this. When he first got his glasses, he had actually just started working here. So he was like, okay, it's a new job, new experience, new bosses, I gotta make sure I'm wearing these the full day, right?
Right.
He crashed that night. He wore them for a full 9 to 5 at work,
Oh.
got home, fell asleep for about like 14 hours. Up to dinner, just crashed. And that's always been like my just cautionary tale to make sure you're taking breaks in the middle of the day.
Sure.
I do not want you leaving here and being like, and I'm gonna go take a 3 hour nap in the middle of the day, right? Enjoy Toronto while you're here.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's really good. So we're gonna look at autofocus right now. I'm gonna show you how to use manual. If you look at the page, let's just go to that one right there. I'm gonna magnify in for you.
That one, or?
Yeah, let's actually go a little bit lower. I'm trying to find where it looks a little bit grainy too. I'm gonna change the contrast a little bit. Okay, let's not go too far down because then we're gonna have to worry about head movement. Okay, so let's say, look up a little bit. Yeah, we'll do this one. Okay, so right now you might notice there's a slight graininess to the letters, right? What I want you to do is find that raised button. Okay, right below it. Yeah, that arrow right there, if you press that down, you're now in manual focus. So that AF with a slash through it, right? What that's done is that it's locked you in that this is gonna be your focus. So if you looked at me right now, well, first of all, I'm gonna be really zoomed in, but I'm also like kind of blurry, right? It won't focus on me. If you look across the room at Emily, right? Everything else is blurry.
Yeah.
Because it's focused in on the page.
Yeah.
So if you turn back to the page right now.
Okay, so it locked in.
Yes. The page is still in focus.
Right.
So then what you do is you use the side arrows. So that's there. If you press those down, keep going. Okay, so it's getting a little bit blurrier, so we use the other arrow instead. Yeah, and just press that down a bunch of times. Right, it starts to bring that in focus for you.
And that's what one of your colleagues, I don't know who she is.
Kathy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounded, the name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
She calls it fine tuning.
Yes. I call it like, it's really that you're in control of the focus.
Right.
So you might find that there's some things that because the distance is too great or because there's like different features taking place that graininess is there. So by putting it into manual focus, you have the control. Because autofocus isn't always going to be able to do all the work for you. Right? Autofocus will probably be the mode that you stay the longest in. It's actually the easiest one to be in because it is doing the work for you. But it's good to know how to put it into manual focus so you can practice those things as you want. Right? And then to get out of this, you just press the reset button. And your ambassadors will go into more details with this. What I usually find is that the more real life scenarios you have, right? So when you're actually in that situation, you'll be able to call up whoever your ambassador is and just ask them to like just go through it with you again to make sure they're comfortable with everything.
Right, and that's a 5-week deal, right? They'll get in
They
touch.
keep doing it for you forever.
Right.
Yeah, the training part of it, right? Well, so like we're doing here, we're still essentially covering a lot of the basics. We're going through a bunch of the stuff.
Right.
I don't use the glasses on a daily basis, so I don't know the ins and outs, as well as people who will use it every day. So your ambassadors are using them all the time.
Right.
Right. So your ambassador, you can give them a call. What they'll do is they're going to set up a weekly call with you. So once a week, you'll just go through different training things. You can do it faster if you'd like. You can make 2 calls per week or 3 calls per week, right? Because you want to like get it done.
As far as you know, what time of day that is, because I work until 3 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and then depending on
Are we on Eastern time?
Yeah.
Yeah, then what we can do is we'll set up like a 4:30 call.
That would be fine.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So you would arrange it with your ambassador, depending on what their schedule is.
Sure.
And then after those 5, like I think it's 4 or 5 weeks are done, that training program is in place, you can then start calling them whenever you want.
Okay.
Right? So like after the training program's done, you still have them as your ambassador. It's not a end of the line like, oh, you had your 5 calls, good luck forever, right? Like we really make sure that it's in place there.
Oh, and yeah, that's what Miss Bradley said.
Yes,
Tara
exactly. We try to make that really clear because some people, I guess like some technologies or some people will assume that, I mean, you can only really call us like 6 times, so use those calls wisely, right? But we want to make sure that we have everything in place for you, so as you continue going, you're very comfortable with it.
Right.
All right. So again, unless you're reading, tilt these up.
Okay. And look up into the.
Yeah. So you can play around with it as you get more comfortable with it. It's kind of like having reverse bifocals, that you still want to use your natural sight to get a sense of the room,
Right.
but you want to use the glasses to get the details of who's in the room.
Right.
So if I was to ask you, like, if you look at Emily, oh, just so everyone knows, Emily's the one filming. Hi. So if you look at Emily, right, you'll be able to you can change the contrast, you can bring her into greater focus,
Right.
just to get the details of her a little bit more clear.
Yeah, it's just so smooth and so.
Yeah.
You know, this is something I haven't experienced in 26 years.
That's awesome. I'm glad it's going so well.
And you know, I can even read the time on that clock if it's. Is that
Yeah.
even working?
Pardon?
Is that even working?
It is. Wait.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. I haven't been here in 3 weeks, so the last time I was here it was working. Apparently it is not working anymore and we need new batteries. Remind me to tell our office manager. Now I know.
Yeah. So,
What I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug you. We're going to actually walk around a little bit because I want to get you comfortable with this.
sure.
Okay, and that way you have a better understanding of how it's all going to work for you. I actually have your carrying case in your box over here, so let me get that out. And we have your extra battery and everything in here.
Okay.
I don't know if I have any bags or anything for you, so I don't know if you might want to take just the eSight today, maybe the charger, and then when you come back tomorrow for the follow-up, you can bring a bag with you or something like that. I gotta try to see if I have anything available.
I'll ask at the Fairmount and see what's up with that. They're willing to give you just about anything up there. So.
We really, honestly, what I usually suggest is having, we have like reusable grocery bags here. They charge you in some places if you get plastic bags. So we have reusable ones.
Oh,
I just don't have any in place, like the canvas ones and stuff like that. Yeah. I just don't have any left because we tend to give them away so much.
Right.
I'm trying to get some eSight ones. I think that'd be better if we actually had like eSight logos on them.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna unplug you.
And just so you know, Emily, that's not going to time out on you or anything. It'll film for as long as that button's pushed down.
Awesome. I did pause for a second to remind you that you have your eSight dispense today.
Yeah, figure.
Just so you know. Okay, so you're gonna slide your hand through this and we'll tuck your head over it, right? So now you can either wear this on your belt loop if you wanted, or you can wear it tucked down here. So whatever you're more comfortable with. So let's actually stand up. All right. And let's head outside and let's just see what's going on. Actually, we can go say hi to Taylor at his desk.
Straight ahead, I think.
Yep. That's him.
Mine?
So that's fine.
Is that up?
It's up, right? So you want to tilt your eyes under almost when you're walking.
So like this, essentially?
Yeah, right? And then if you want to see, you can either tilt your head down so it's in front, or you would just tilt the glasses down instead. Okay.
Taylor?
Okay.
I'm Ben Murray.
Hey, Ben.
Nice to meet you.
Read the acuity chart.
You too. How are you, Charles? Good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's liking it so far.
So so I'll kind
First time.
of
Would you say it's the first time you've seen this clear in 26 years?
unless you had any questions.
Cool.
How old are you?
26.
So there you go.
That was my guess, but
I started this, I'm not about eSight through a friend, and, you know, and I'm always, you know, I hate reading forums and
Yeah.
I hate that.
I know.
You know, so what the heck is eSight? You know, I don't really care. And okay then.
This looks good. This is working.
I saw your segment on doctors with Little Ben.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Pierce.
And that's what sold me, basically,
Yeah.
was
Cool.
you know, to see him. He was really excited. Seems like he's happy with it. I've hooked up with his mother
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Awesome. That's so good. Well, he's even been talking like Justin Curley and like Katie Larson.
Oh, cool.
I know. I was laughing. I was like, oh, I love Jay Curley.
All of our
DJ
social
Jay
media.
Curley.
Yeah,
Oh,
superstars.
okay.
Yeah, who else? There's a couple people that I know that tried it recently in the Columbus area.
Really?
Yeah, I'll have to get with you.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. Because you're from Bryan, Ohio?
Yeah. That's.
Well, we were in, where's Columbus in the state? Because we were in Toledo, but that's north.
I was there. I met you and Katie.
He met you,
or,
Hugh and Kelly.
Excuse me.
Oh, in Toledo.
Yeah.
He said they had an awesome presentation.
I went up there and people were asking me, you know, why are you here? And she said, well,
How did you come exactly?
I got a call from the development director.
Yeah.
Stacy?
No, Tim Teggy.
Oh, Tim. Okay.
And he says, I saw your article on the Blade. We want to get eSight down here. How do I do this?
Yeah.
And I said, what? You're going to do this because of me? He goes, well, of course. We want him to come down. So
That's awesome.
I got invited. And
I'm just going to finish typing at the time.
Sure. Oh, you're fine. But no, this has been an experience that I'll never forget.
And it's funny because you come to Toronto at probably the worst time that we've ever had the winter in
Well,
terms of
you know,
weather here.
I said to people, no matter how I get there, I'm going to get there.
Yeah, I know. You said that right from the beginning too.
Well,
You made it happen. I like it. Let's go look at our kitchen space in the back and see how it is to like make your own coffee or things like that. I want you getting really comfortable with using the glasses.
right.
So as we have questions along the way, you can bring it up and we'll figure it all out. This is our backspace.
I'm Jamie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You'll probably actually be talking to Jamie in a little bit. He does a lot of, he does calls with all of our users.
I got a friend of mine who has the same condition as I do.
Yeah.
From Columbus.
Wow, okay.
And he talked with Jamie about it.
Nice. Yeah, so that's usually what happens, and like Jamie will either talk about fundraising, or he'll do. So Jamie's taken over kind of my position where I used to do more of the fundraising stuff.
And you are.
He's now doing it now.
What are you transitioning into?
I'm now doing full-time sales. So I do a lot of. So I'm usually on the road like 3 out of 4 weeks a month.
Good Lord.
Yeah, so this is my week back, which is why they scheduled you for this week to make sure that I was here.
Where are you heading?
Next, I'm in Dallas,
Dallas.
Philadelphia. I don't know where the third place is yet.
Well, one of those places I'm hoping, if I can make things happen on my networking side, is Bryan, Ohio.
Yeah, I know you were asking about that.
It's my
So
optometrist's office.
I remember we talked about that yesterday. So hopefully we can see what's going to happen. How far away is Bryan from like a metropolitan city?
Oh, jeez. Good.
What's like the major city nearby?
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay. And how far is that from?
45 miles, about 50 miles roughly.
So how much time would that be? We're so Canadian. I don't know miles. I have no concept what that would be.
From here, Toledo, Detroit is 300 miles total. And then,
I don't know what 50 miles would be. I'll look it up later. We usually do drive time more than anything.
right.
I never know what miles are, like what that would be.
Right. You would track down in Chicago
Okay.
over to the Indiana Turnpike.
Okay.
But I mean, even if it's, you know, it would be nice to. My optometrist said sure
Yeah.
he wants to make an effort to get you there. I said,
Yeah.
well, I realize you focus on metropolitan areas.
We do, usually because it's easier for us to get to. I have done some smaller towns, but it requires a lot of driving.
Well,
And that can be a little bit dangerous in like the winter months.
Oh,
And
heavens,
also,
yes.
yeah, and like so, I mean, I had to go down once to Binghamton, New York, right? So that took like 6 hours
That's-
to get to, and a lot of it was night driving, which is a little bit scary. So we try to like just figure out times of year where it's a little bit more easy, I guess. So like, I'd rather take the, actually no, even the rain. I want summer weather when I'm driving. It's kind of the ideal.
Me too.
I did want to get you a chance to come over here. We have things like our microwave. We have just being able to read coffee and stuff like that. I want you to just kind of get comfortable, choose some everyday tasks that you might have some trouble with, and just we can tilt the glasses down a little bit so it's further in front, and you just play around with it. And it's cool to kind of see the different depth perception, making sure like you know where your finger is versus what your eyes are looking at. What do you think would be interesting in this office? We play darts. Let's do that.
Baked potato, pizza.
Yep. Awesome.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Clock. Reset.
Start bringing it back up a little bit.
You can always go closer too. So it's kind of nice for the most part is that you can adjust yourself as well to see what is the most comfortable for you.
Oh, I can move in closer.
Yeah, right. And we're no longer doing the clinical stuff anymore, right? This is very much like real life. So if you find that
Kind
you
of
don't
a
want
kind of a relax.
it's pretty much whatever you want to do with it. We want to make that happen.
Right.
Let's see here. The time right there is
9:56.
Excellent. Yeah.
The noise I'm hearing up in the IR sensors is normal.
That's the autofocus.
Okay.
So that's why it's adjusting, because as you move, it's trying to focus in as fast as it can to make sure that it's giving you the clear image.
Okay. So that's normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that'll always happen. Hopefully one day it'll be like silent, but
Well,
for this point, it's also good to know because it's telling you you're in autofocus mode, right?
As time goes on,
Yeah.
it'll be better.
Yeah, always. Like any technology. I mean, the first cell phone was a brick, and they became very small, and now they're going back to being bricks. So, I mean, I'm looking at your phone, and it's massive, right? So it all just wraps around
It's
again.
an iPhone.
That's why. Is that?
Coffee.
Yep.
Okay. Dove hot chocolate.
That's the one I drink. I'm not a coffee drinker.
I thought Tara divided my tea.
Pardon?
Red
like that.
tea.
Old ladies.
For you.
Yeah. She's like, okay,
French
44
toast.
days. It should take you like 2 months.
Perfect. That works. 2 a day, I just keep piling up.
Yeah.
On weekends, it's special.
Yeah, exactly.
Come in just for the tea.
It's starting to get a little grainy.
Okay, so you can always play around with the contrast. You can change the autofocus to manual and adjust it yourself.
There we go. I got it. I had to reset it.
Yep.
Coffee is on the screen. Tea. Cappuccino, espresso.
Yeah, we try to get really fancy with our coffee options.
Please select your drink. I think I will have coffee.
So let's reset that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to the office and we can actually look out the window. So you want to tilt the glasses up a little bit more? Yeah, there you go. I find when walking, it's the biggest transition getting used to having that notification there, right? So it's almost better to just bypass that in the beginning.
Bypass the.
Like just keep it tilted out of your way so you're not worrying about what you're seeing in the glasses, you're just looking with your natural sight.
So I'm looking up, essentially.
You're looking straight almost. You want to look through these glasses, not the eSight ones.
Right.
Okay? So let me actually raise the blinds over here.
Everything holding up film wise?
Yep. 33 minutes.
It's not gonna time out on me. This brings back memories, I'll tell you.
Looking things.
Looking out over Dayton.
Dayton, Ohio? Yeah, did you demo in Dayton?
Yeah.
Okay, so how long did that take you to get there?
Oh gosh, 2-3 hours. I go there for a convention every year at Harriet Arena downtown.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely the whitest Toronto has been in a while. It's the first time I've seen this much snow here. I mean, I could be wrong again. I've missed a lot of weeks, but I feel like this is the most snow we've had in a while.
This is definitely the most snow. All year.
Next out.
That's what I was laughing at. We had the NBA All-Star Weekend was last weekend, and of course it happens to be the coldest it's ever been in Toronto this winter.
Minus 26.
Like, yeah, so I felt really bad for all the people from like California who are coming here and trying to play. They must have just hated us.
That's awful.
And it's literally been so mild the whole winter. up until last
It
weekend.
was 16 degrees like 2 weeks ago.
But let's bring everybody from out of town who thinks that Toronto is this extremely cold place. They
Yep.
don't believe us.
Prove them all right.
They really don't believe us.
In the mountains, that setting is,
That's distance mode. So that means that, let's say,
which one is, where's that? Which button is that?
if you press down again on the that bottom arrow,
Right there.
yeah. So after manual focus goes the distance mode,
Got it.
right? So if you're looking at a window and there's like bird poop on the window, the autofocus might focus on that poop because that's what it sees right in front of it.
Right.
The distance mode will help you see past the screen into the distance.
I can't make out much of that sign. You know, I have to be probably closer to it outside.
Which sign? What do you see part of? Give me an example of what you see part of.
Right there.
I can't see what you're seeing, so I need you to kind of describe it to me.
It's on a, oh, there we go. Did I have it? Crap.
Zoom out a little bit.
Alright, let's see. Oh, there it is, right there. There's a white pickup truck, and beside that is it's a billboard for a company, it looks like.
Oh yeah, it's a really small sign. I can't see it.
Oh, it's
He's looking at that white one.
It's a billboard, obviously.
Yeah. Try to find bigger one. Like I don't actually see what that says. I just see that it's red with a wine bottle in it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's alcohol in nature. There are going to be certain things that there's still limitations on, right? Because I mean, like my natural sight can't see it. It's probably going to be hard for the eSight glasses to see it.
Alright, 100%. Oops, okay. Let's do the sign again. Freeze that. Oh, it blurred it out. Shoot.
It's okay. You just unfreeze it, focus, and try to freeze it again. The freeze will take some practice for myself. Even when I freeze it, I had to practice a little bit first to know exactly when to press that button. That again, like a lot of things.
Here's a clear sign right here that I can make out.
Take a look at that. I'm gonna see if Yvonne's around. I'll be right back.
Shipping and receiving is what it says.
Uh,
And the top is a little. Let's see.
Okay, so Yvonne's actually gone. I should have introduced you guys when you were in the morning. She had a meeting.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I'll see her again at some point. I'll come back. I picked out that there's a sign that I could see a lot better
Yeah?
distance-wise. It states, or it reads, shipping and receiving.
Oh, yeah.
It's right-
And that's a nice sign too because the contrast is in place. What you're gonna find is like, so that's a good sign to be practicing with right now, right?
Right.
We're pretty far distance away from everything. We're about 6 floors up and we're really far from the nearest like street signs.
Right.
What you might want to practice today, just like in between when you're taking those breaks, right, is getting comfortable with the glasses and even just looking at street signs,
Right.
right? Because you'll actually be on the ground and you'll be much closer to them. So if you're at the corner of 2 intersections, you'll be able to look up and see that sign there, as opposed to I'm kind of making you look at things that are pretty far away right now.
Well, that's a good
It's just
test.
good practice, right? It's good to be able to recognize what you are and aren't seeing.
Refresh my memory on what the push button function does on the zoom. Is that
So if you zoom in a lot, all right, if you press it down, keep it pressed down, it demagnifies everything, so you kind of see the full picture, and then you can focus on what you want to look at, and when you let it go, it'll zoom back in.
Oh, that's neat.
So when you press it down, if you hold it down, it zooms out. You can focus on what you want to see, points your nose or your glasses at that area, and then when you let go, it'll zoom right back into where you were.
Right. You can see the building. Oh, wow. It's maxed out, but it's okay.
We also have the Ripley's Aquarium nearby. That could kind of be cool too if you ever wanted to go like wander through there and see some fish and stuff like that.
Yeah, we have an aquarium
It's
Toledo. It's a Toledo Zoo.
I know. I remember Vaughn telling me she thought it was really cool to go to the aquarium just because to see fish underwater and see like that movement. She thought that was really cool.
Was that you that was ice skating with her in New York?
Yeah, that was the two of us.
She
was freaking out. It was so much fun.
She just about lost it though.
It was so much fun. At one point, she almost wiped out. It was great. I almost wiped out. So that was. It was fun. And we went at like a really empty time, so it was good.
Well, my brother lives in New York City.
Oh, nice.
I haven't seen him or talked to him in probably, good grief, 17 years.
Wow. Well, no time like the present to go visit New York. Yay! It's one of my favorite cities in North America. I was gonna say in the world, but it's in North America. It's one of my favorite cities to visit.
Something cheese, mozzarella.
Yeah. A lot of that sign's cut out by trees.
Stupid trees.
But it's cool that you can see the mozzarella. Because that's actually, it's an orange sign against a beige backdrop, so it's not the best contrast.
Right.
But it definitely adds to it. That's good.
Just sign right there. Oh, license plate? Yeah. Maybe not from there. Let's see. No, I can't make that out.
It's okay. We're really far up. I can't make it out at all.
Yeah.
I have no concept what it is.
Oops. I'm gonna freeze that. Okay. There we go.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, Ben. We've kind of flown through everything because you're a really quick learner and you seem to have actually like, practiced stuff before
Oh yeah.
we even had the chance to put them on. So, are there any like questions about stuff? Otherwise, like I'd say start practicing in the city. Like actually go out and enjoy the day and see what you can do with them.
Right.
Remember to always tilt it up. All right. Just lather that there for yourself. What's nice too is that it's a warmer day today and it looks like the snow stopped, so you can actually wear these outside.
For a change.
Yeah, which is nice. I would suggest if it does start snowing or anything, take them off, put them away just for a bit. These are not completely waterproof, right?
No.
So
Yesterday it would have been a complete wash.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't have been able to really wear them outside at all.
Snow was falling off the roofs and stuff
Oh, was it tense?
on my head. I mean, and this
It's the danger of living here. We have a lot of snow.
this one lady, why are you stopping, eh? And I said, because I can't see.
I can't see what's happening.
And I'm thinking to myself, okay.
Now, we have a lot of stuff here for you.
Another user that I'm in touch with is Lacey.
Oh, very nice.
She is an absolute sweetheart.
Yeah, no, she's so sweet. She's actually our newer user, which is good.
Oh my God,
She is such a sweetheart.
I
She's
saw her
really-
video and I was done.
I know.
We were all crying here too.
Like,
It's,
I was like the first responder for that one.
I know.
you know, I always tell people, you can take your vision for granted,
Yep.
or you can do something about it.
It makes such a difference. And oh no, she's like, I cannot believe how well she's doing with it.
Her mom filmed her running up the.
I know. I showed my sister that. She's like, "Oh my God, this girl must be so excited." I'm like, "Oh, you get what I do. Yay! You finally understand my job." Okay, so there's a couple things that I want to go over here with you. Now, your best bet might actually be to bring some of this stuff today back to your hotel room and put it in there before you go wander around, right? And then if whatever you can't carry today, when you come back tomorrow, we can always package it up then as well. So this is the eSight briefcase.
You know, when I saw this at first, everyone was like, you know, you're not going to get one of those. And I said, I don't think I do.
We get it, you just don't have the screen in it.
Right.
So no one's really demo, there's that screen that's there.
People have been asking me, well, why don't you do demos? I'm like,
It's a little bit more difficult than that, but what's it called? So we don't have the screens in there.
Right.
But inside the case.
I've been chatting with Nick Henderson too.
Hi, that's awesome. I demoed him in Atlanta like last year.
I'm a musician too.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, he's an amazing cellist, so it's kind of unreal.
I play guitar.
Very cool. You guys should start a band across North America. So in here you have your charger, right? Right now you have a fully charged battery in there. You also have 2 other charge batteries, right? So you have time. So you don't really need to charge it until tonight, I would say. But you have your charger here. You have a little wipe for your strap. If you ever need to adjust the forehead strap, it's ready to go right there. The HDMI cable, right? So if you want to plug that into your computer when you get home or anything like that, that's what you would use for that. Okay, so one end goes into the eSight, the other end goes into the computer. Right now, obviously, this is where your eSight would go, but because you have it on, it's not in there.
Right.
We also have a quick fit guide to everything, just in case. I mean, you already picked up on it, so I'm not too worried about that.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's just an easy reminder guide just to make sure that you know where everything is, how it's all working, what exactly certain buttons do.
Right.
But then we have a very detailed guide of our eScales binder. Right? There's the big one.
I saw this on the table and I said, Tara, what is this? Oh, you'll get it at some point.
Oh yeah, it's massive. So what it'll do is that the letters at the beginning start off in very much larger print, right? As you go through the book though, it will start to get smaller. This is the actual binder that your ambassador will go through with you.
Okay.
Okay, so as the training goes on, this is what they'll use. So they'll tell you, okay, let's turn to user guide section, or let's turn to a certain section to see what's going on, and then they'll go through tasks with you.
Okay.
Okay, and it's all divided up. It's good practice, even just for tonight later on, if you just want to get a sense of like practice reading, kind of, right? It's a larger print, so you don't have to use as much magnification.
Right.
Then we also have a really cool baseball cap that is khaki in color.
Thank you.
We get the classy colors here. You have your extra battery that you ordered, and a really long HDMI cable.
Holy crap.
If you want to plug that into your TV. Okay, so it's about 20 feet. It's extremely long. Again, if your TV has an HDMI cable, so if it has an HDMI out, you'll be able to plug one end to your TV and the other end into eSight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got plugs.
Perfect. So that'll be good then.
And I can also, I can plug that. I can't plug into computers at the radio station because we got multiple monitors. But
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be able to just tilt
Just look
down.
at it. You might find, so this will go, it's your own comfort level as you get used to it, but I tend to find that people enjoy watching TV in the glasses because it's an easier experience, right? They can just have it in front of them. Computers, most people actually prefer to just look at the screen because they have more freedom of use.
Right.
So even though you have the multiple monitors, right, you can actually scroll through the different ones now, as opposed to having to get close to each one again and again.
Right, and that's always been the problem.
Exactly.
With that was, when I read, I take my glasses off.
Yeah. Right. So we'll play around with this to see how it goes.
When I watch television,
yeah,
I wear my glasses.
Yeah.
When I work with the computer, I wear glasses. When I'm outside working with other people on my farm, I wear my glasses. These are.
Oh, let me just sit back. Seems like they're resting on your nose a little.
What was that?
It's up to you. It's totally comfort. I find in the beginning that I like to keep it off the nose.
What did you say her name was? Was her name?
Kelly?
No. There was another.
Kathy?
No.
Yvonne?
No. There was another rep that she did Kenyon's demo. Kenyon Kill.
Carolyn.
Yeah. I think you knew that.
She.
That's actually Tara's mom.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Carolyn's Tara's mom. I know. It took me like 6 months to realize that.
Well,
I just thought they showed it last time.
I saw her name and I'm thinking, what?
Yeah.
But Kenyon's another one. I'm talking to, I'm not in touch with him yet, but the fellow that I'm talking to from Lima, he went to Chicago when Harry was in Chicago.
Yeah.
And he called my work
Yeah.
at WBNO radio.
And he loves it.
And he says to me, my article for the Blade got reprinted in the Lima News.
Yes.
And he said, I'm looking for Benjamin Murray. So I get a message from my production manager. I got a very interesting phone call. So she gave me his phone number. So we get to talking and he says, I have optic nerve atrophy myself. Did you know that? And I said, no.
I did know that.
Where does eSight demo? So I kind of told him, I said, call him, get him set up, get in touch with somebody. He tried him and he said he read down to like 20/80.
Yeah. Oh, it's a huge difference for
And
people.
he wants to, he was looking to touch base with you, but I said, I don't know what your schedule is. I said, just, I'll try to get her involved, but.
Was it for a specific reason that he wanted me specifically, or just in general?
Just in
because I'm
general.
so awesome. So.
Well, you are, and that's,
I know. Woo. Yeah, no, so we do get that. I usually tell people best bet is to call the company because now that I'm doing more like full time on the road,
Right.
I'm only here 1 week out of 3
Right.
or out of 4. So it's a little bit harder for me to get in touch with everybody right away.
It is.
Whereas when you call the company, there's always at least like 4 people on phones ready to talk to somebody, including Emily, again, our videographer here. What I'm gonna do, today I would suggest, I'd suggest going back to the hotel right now, right, and dropping all of this off.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to wear the glasses back to the hotel. If you
No,
want
I
to put it
don't.
in here. That's what I thought.
Be easy to get.
Yeah, I agree. So what you
Safer.
would do is you just take them by the side and actually slide it up and over your head. So you want to actually grab the full unit right there. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, perfect. We're going to slide that off your body. And I will say too, let's say you want to carry this with you, but you don't want to be wearing it, right? So for this afternoon when you're walking around, you can actually unzip this side right here and leave the glasses in this little pouch.
No kidding.
Yeah, so you can wear it all together
Wow.
and not have to worry about the glasses. And then to turn it on and off, that little notch right there, you just slide that down. There you go. Right, so that's off. I'm going to pass you back your glasses. Sorry, I'll pick that up. There you go. So let's figure this out. Yeah, I'm trying to think what there is to do. I'm glad you went to, I honestly have never been bowling at the place that you went the other day.
I took a taxi because it was so much easier.
Do you have Uber?
No,
Okay.
no. I'm gonna try that though. You have it here, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I knew you did. I'm like,
Yeah. I was gonna say it could be a little bit cheaper for you in a lot of ways.
but hey, $6 to get over to one side of town is not much.
No, that's really easy, so that's good.
Speaking of,
And you can get a code to have your first $15 free if you share a code.
Do you have
Do you
it?
have it? I have it.
I might have it. Is it? Do you use Uber at all, or is this?
never did.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it'd be
That's for
definitely
the
first
family.
ride. Okay, perfect. I don't know if I have $5.
Keep it.
let me go ask the friends.
Keep it.
I will ask Tara. Give me 1 second.
You know,
Keep,
it.
keep the 5. Okay, so this is your briefcase.
Do you want me to turn this off now?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll work.
Before you do that, is that on off yet? I just wanted to say thank you for giving me my life back.
Aw, Ben. I'm so happy. That was so wonderful. You just did so well at everything. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm honestly just so proud of you, and I'm so thrilled that you were able to come up here. It's been honestly so great, and you've been so upbeat the entire time, because I know fundraising can be very disheartening for a lot of people, and from the beginning you've been very gung-ho, you knew what you were going to do, you knew how you wanted to do it, and it's wonderful.
I said you can go ahead and pause it.